Hello, Tim here. Welcome to Shop Talk with Tim. A while ago, I bought a ukulele and I've enjoyed playing it regular style. In a previous video, I talked a little bit about making a wood bar for a dobro. I'm a dobro player, that's what I started with. But I recently purchased a ukulele, and then I decided the ukulele group I go to is all ukuleles. So there's banjo ukes, there's resonator ukes. And I wanted to bring my dobro because it's Hawaiian, of course. But I thought I'd ask, and they said no, it's just ukulele. So then I decided to do something unique to the ukulele I bought, and that's to make a bone nut to raise the strings. Now, it might be a little hard to tell what this is all about, but I raised the strings to allow me to play unhindered with a bar. And that's what a dobro or steel guitar, the strings are raised. You don't ever bring the strings down to the frets. So in bottleneck style playing, you do, but that's not what I'm doing with this. So in order to do that, I had to carve a nut out of bone. You can't find these in a store. You can for 6-string. You can buy what's called a dobro nut, but I've not seen anything for 4-string. So I procured a bone, a cow bone, from a museum place that actually had them for sale. It was a wood carving exhibit. Bone is used in a lot of instrument making and maybe embellishments on tools and things like that. I mean, ivory used to be used, but you can't use that anymore. So this piece of bone, I cut this out, and then with a hacksaw and filing, I created the notch and then exactly positioned where the strings are right in line with the original nut, which the original nut is still there. So I can take this out and bring the strings down and play regular ukulele style like this here. But playing with open tuning like that has given me some flexibility in being able to just have fun. I can play chords too, but the main purpose of this video today, this episode, is to talk about a case. Now, I decided to get another ukulele because in a jam session, it's too time consuming if I'm going to play a song like Wabash Cannonball or something like that, to take this out and then retune it. And if any of you have ever played ukulele and put new strings on or loosen them up, it's really irksome that they keep going out of tune until you get them settled in. So it's not practical to change it out when you're with friends and you want to play with your strings high or play with them low. So what's the answer to that? And my answer was get another ukulele. I'm a baritone uke player. I like it for a lot of reasons. I like the tone of it, and I can do the slide style. But my answer was to get another ukulele, and it came in this cardboard box, which I could have carried around. I carried two, this one in a gig bag and this one in the cardboard box, but that wasn't going to be very conducive, and certainly not in the winter time. You don't want to be carrying around a cardboard box. So this is my new ukulele, which is strictly just for playing a lot of tune. But so if I want to change from playing slide to playing regular fretting style, now I have two ukuleles. So what do I do with that? And this box design, I was considering different ideas. I want to put one case with 2 ukuleles in it. So I thought of an over-under situation, and that might work, and I considered that. So it'd be like a big briefcase. But then I looked at this design here, just the simplicity of this shape of case. And that's what gave me the idea. So I got square corners. I can hinge this, but I'll show you what I ended up doing. And it just worked beautifully. My own custom built ukulele case. So there's several problems I had to solve with making this case, and I thought I'd sit down and draw it all out, but sometimes you can just you can do all this drawing and you still have problems in making it. But I'm just first start with the outside of the case. So the outside is covered with muslin. I glued this down, and then I varnished it with 2 or 3 coats of exterior grade varnish. These hasps I got from a local box store. I don't know if it was Home Depot or something like that. This handles from a specialty woodworking supply store. And these little things, I mean, the materials for this came from all over the place. So on the back side, you'll see I've got a piano hinge that was left over from a job, and these corners, I extended them down just a little bit with some leather and added leather cushion on the inside here, so that it needed to clear the barrel of this piano hinge so I wouldn't scrape a floor or something like that. So now I have kind of a cushioned bottom to this. I still have to be careful if I stand it up or rub against something, but it's cushioned so that it won't scratch finished floor or anything like that. So the outside, I made 2 boxes that are just like the cardboard box that this came in, and then put that, I burned my logo in on a piece of leather, so it's kind of, not that it's going to get confused with anybody else's. Now I added these 2 ring hooks on here so that I can carry this thing, and I'll show you inside. So let's take a look inside. I'll set this down. Now here's the inside. So start with this. Once I got the box all put together, I resawed it. I made sure that I had enough clearance so that I could get the ukuleles to match on top of each other. I needed to add some safety straps in there, but I'll get to that in a minute. So what I did is I put the box together, and then I sawed it, and it cleared. It actually did a pretty good job until I got this thing almost put together, and I realized I didn't have enough clearance. So then I had to carve out a little area here just to clear the lower bout of the ukulele so that it would fit in there once I had the felt in there. So the tolerances were kind of tight after I measured everything to make this as small as possible. Now here's my belt that I hook on for a carrying strap. So I keep this inside if I don't need it. And this just hooks on here like so. And this buckle I got, this is like you can get these webbing type things. And this just stays on here all the time. But I double it up so I can make it shorter and hold it tight to the case. But then that's what I use to carry it with, and it works really nice. These are things you can find online. I happen to find these hasps, or whatever they call these little hook things, on a local surplus store. And these are just scrap leather that I pop riveted on here, and then I hammered the pop rivets flat so that they don't scratch anything. So that worked out pretty good. There's probably other ways, rivets you can get from leather supply places, but that's what I did for this. Then I got some Velcro just to put this neck cradle part in, and the purpose of having like a safety belt, I mean, this is like overbuilt for ukulele. I mean, most ukulele cases aren't this, secured and all that. I mean, this is something that's pretty strong. So the sides are a 1/2-inch plywood, and the top and back or sides outside, top and bottom, they're 1/4-inch plywood. And it sturdied it up to glue on the muslin on the outside, and then I added corner blocking here to secure that joint. So that's just like added strength. And then I had to cut in for the knob on the end. I have that on here. I'm not taking it off. In case I ever decide to stand up and play it, I'll keep that on. It doesn't need to be on there for lap style playing. But the issue I'd run into is when I close one on top of the other, it's going to fall down. I can close it either way. So I had to create a piece of webbing, and this strap, this is the same buckle as this is here, but then I had to whittle it back so that it would clear the ukulele. Now once I pushed that down, now I couldn't grab it. So then I added a little piece of leather on here. So my point is that when you're building something custom, you don't know what you're going to run into until you just start working. And it's like, okay, this works, that didn't work, and now what? So there's a couple of features about this that I'm really pleased with how this works. It's just a little bit cumbersome when you're putting the two of them away, because it takes more time than just throwing it in the case and shutting the lid. So I have to tuck this down in here like that and push this down. And there's a little bit of play there, but then, then this is secured. So then this just stays put. So it doesn't rock around too much. I can't seem to pull this, and it doesn't need to be sucked up real tight. So then I have to reach down here and grab that leather loop, which, by the way, I also pop riveted on here. And once I made sure that everything was clear, this works really good. I don't need to have it so that it's in there absolutely tight. So there's a little bit of play in this. I can't seem to pull it down tight enough. I could if I could grab the bottom of this webbing under here, but there's no need to do that as I've proved. I just pull it, hold it, push it down, and I'm good to go. Now, the boxes, which I really like this part of it, I made these separate. Now I have extra strings, got a tuner in here, other accoutrements. I seem to blow through strings more frequently on a ukulele than I have on my guitar. But I put a magnetic catch in here, and it's fairly strong, and it'll do the job. It's just that on this side, where I have the lap one, this created a little bit of an issue with. I have a steel bar and the wood one, which I really like this. So this is made out of snake wood, and I made a little holster, I guess you call it. It's a little piece of sheepskin that doesn't really serve any purpose. It just kind of keeps things from bouncing around. I can keep my these are some felt picks for ukulele, which I don't usually use, and then just something to write notes in or something. So then that keeps it from, because this was popping open, and then the picks were flying around. So the magnet wasn't quite strong enough. So I needed to not have the bar. This one's heavier bar, which is usually used for dobro playing. it's got a more firmer sound, but I like the mellow sound of the wood one, so it seems to work pretty good. So I have this kind of tucked in there so it doesn't bounce around. Now I can close that, add a leather tab on there, and I pre-finished this before I installed it, and then put the felt in after the fact. So let's put this all back together. The slide one goes on this side. I just cut this down. I had to shape this a couple of times to get this a little bit lower because it was hitting the other ukulele, because it sits up rather high now, but this works pretty good. And then I put the strap in. It's a little bit of a bother to strap them both in, but here's what's cool about it. So then they're like buddies, baritone buddies. So then you can go to a gig, and if someone doesn't have a ukulele, you can loan them one of these. And then, oh, and by the way, this will fit under here if I want to keep it inside the case, or when I'm traveling somewhere, I'll just snap it on, and then I can carry it over my shoulder, which actually works quite nicely. And now you'll see when I close this up, that top one doesn't fall down, and then I can latch it like so. It might be overkill to have 4 latches on here, but I like the symmetry of it. And then when I'm carrying this, I usually have the small end forward, and I just carry it like this. So it's over my shoulder and weighs about 18 pounds. I weighed the whole thing, which is a little heavy, but my dobro in its case is probably around the same. And if you have a metal dobro or other instruments, they can weigh. It's probably not too bad. It's a little cumbersome this way, but it's as compact as I could make it, and it's been great. So I've had a lot of fun with it, and I'm just throwing this out as a suggestion if you want to do something like this. I don't have plans for it. I'm just walking you through how I did some of this. And just go for it. Just sometimes you don't really know what the next step is, and you just got to kind of try it out. And if you're not too sure, one of the things I've done is make 2 of something, and then you got something to make mistakes with, and then you can set your saw up right. So this is my effort to be able to carry 2 instruments in the same case, and go to jam sessions, and it's worked so far. It's worked really great. I've just had this done for about a month. So that's my journey in the ukulele world. And if you're a ukulele player, give it a go if you want to carry more than one with you, if you're a woodworker too. But thanks for watching, and please give it a thumbs up if you would, and please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.